Everything okay with everyone? Can you see it all?
All looking good.
All good looking, because I can't see it, but I'm sure it's fine. So you can't see my notes, can you? You can see my screen.
We can just see the screen, no notes there. So
All right, I win. I wish I didn't say anything. I would have been so much cooler now. Oh, well, all right, everyone. I just want to say a big thank you for joining me and, of course, coming to Nick's presentation. Thank you, Nick, for having me. A little bit about myself. My name's Jess or Jessica. My business is JR Digital. We've been around for about 7 years, and I help get people off social media and talking to you. We're a marketing and advertising agency, and we specialize in online paid ads. So what does that mean? That means your paid Facebook ads, your paid Instagram ads, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, and Microsoft ads. So Microsoft are just like Google ads, except on the Bing search engine, in case you didn't know. So we help people in a couple of ways. I create social media content on behalf of businesses. I do it in bulk and hand it over to you. I run ads for you for your search and social media advertising, or if you're one of those businesses that wear all the hats or have an in-house marketing team, what I can do and my team can do is we can set up the ads for you and then provide you with some mentoring and training. And at the end of that training, you'll have all the tools you need to run and manage your own ads yourself. We're certified advertisers, and what that means is we've done the training, we've passed the tests with Meta, Google, and Microsoft, and I've just realized I need to update my badge for Microsoft. But basically what it means is we've done the exams, we keep up to date with all the updates and changes, and we also get a little bit more support by being certified through these platforms than perhaps the average Joe would. So that's the difference between there. Now, everyone, you're in the right place tonight. If you've tested out the waters, maybe you've boosted a Facebook post, maybe you've tried running ads through Ads Manager, or maybe you've tinkered with Google Ads, and you're just not sure what you did, or if you did was right, you just got no idea, but you've had a look around. You're also in the right place if you haven't tried any Facebook or Google ads before, because by the end of tonight, my hope is that you'll have a better understanding on the differences between the two, and also which platform may suit your business better. And if you don't know yet which one will suit you better, my hope is that you'll have some tools and resources to help you make that educated decision. And so I'm going to go through the different platforms and really try and tailor it for everyone in the room tonight. So before we get started, if you could just maybe type in the chat box for me, what kind of businesses do I have in the room? I did make some notes before. Service-based businesses, are there any e-com businesses in the audience? Because I'm just going to try, if we're mostly service-based, I'll talk more about service-based businesses. Otherwise,
I actually have e-com clients.
Okay, great. Service-based, consulting, service-based, political. Okay. Political is a little bit tricky, but that's okay. Drop shipping, plumbing, great. Consulting and training, online courses, professional service. Okay, great. So mostly service-based, but I will touch on e-com as well, both for Jane, life coaching, furniture, Peter. Okay, service-based. Awesome. Okay, great. All right, well, I will hopefully be able to touch on all the things that everyone's hoping to get out of. So let's start with Google Ads. So Google Ads used to be called Google AdWords. And the difference the difference between SEO and Google AdWords is SEO, and Justin, you'll be able to help me here. SEO is where you have your website optimized for Google to find your website organically or for free, so that you show up on the first page of Google for selected keywords. You don't necessarily pay Google to get a result of being on the first page if you've got a successful SEO campaign and successful SEO setup. That's not what I'm an expert in. What I'm an expert in is paying Google so that you appear on the first page of Google, but you're paying Google instead of hoping that Google will rank you as you want. And so unfortunately, even if you have very good SEO for your website, if someone is paying Google to have their ads show up for the same keywords or search terms as you, then they will be on the first page of Google and your ads will be further down the page. And so that's the difference between SEO and Google Ads. So what Google Ads allow people to do is allow you to, one, show up on the search engine results, on partner websites. So I don't know if you visited a website and then noticed that that website has followed you around the internet to remind you to go back to that website. That's partner websites with Google. You can run your ads on YouTube and other Google-owned properties, such as apps, the ads that pop up in apps and things like that. So it operates on a pay-per-click model, which means if your ad shows up, but no one clicks on it, you don't get charged. You only get charged for when someone clicks on your ads. And to put things into perspective, Google processes over 8.5 billion searches every single day, which just blows my mind. And that is about 78% of all online search behavior. So there are other search engines like Bing by Microsoft and Yahoo and a couple of others I've probably never even heard of that people do search on, but 78% of us in the entire world use Google to find things online, so they really do have the monopoly on us. And hence why it's a good place to advertise. All right, when we're advertising on Google, and I'll talk specifically for text ads. Text ads are the ads that show up when you're wanting to show your ads on the search engine, on the Google search engine, and the 3 ad options pop up. There are ways to narrow down our audience so that our money is best spent showing our ads to the people that we want to be shown to. So there's location. If you only want to show your ads in Brisbane or a radius around an area or a state or a country, the first place we can do is narrow our ads by that. So the cool thing that you can do as well is that if you're finding you're getting some leads and inquiries from a specific suburb, and the quality is really low quality, you can actually exclude your ads from being shown in that area altogether. So that's another cool feature. You can narrow your audience down by demographics. So sex, age, whether they're a high income earner. You can select some interests in Google, but it's not a sure thing that your ads are going to be shown to, for example, people wanting to buy a house. You can enter interests, but it's more of a suggestion for Google. So they look at it and go, okay, I might show your ads to these kinds of people, but I might not. It's really up to Google to decide. Device type is your mobile and desktop, but I'd highly recommend not excluding device type in the beginning of your ad campaigns, because you want to see what people are using and how they're interacting with your website. But the most effective way of making sure your ads are shown to the right people on Google is to make sure that your search terms which means what people are typing into Google, the search terms that you select are highly targeted for the problem that you solve or some other key characteristics of your ideal client. So we need to have a think and kind of reverse engineer, what are people thinking about before they find your service or product? This goes for e-commerce as well. What are people thinking about? What are they typing in? And this is what's called keyword research. And so Google has a free tool within Ads Manager called Keyword Planner, and it'll give you ideas on search volumes in certain areas. So I can type all of Australia, or I can type in Brisbane, and I could find out, for example, blocked drains Brisbane. I could find out how many people a month search for that specific search term. And then I can also have a look in that tool to see how competitive the ads are for that particular search term. So it's really important to have a really clear understanding of your ideal client and what they're typing in for your Google ads, because this is going to make or break your ad success. I won't go too much into the detail, but there's 3 different types of keywords that you can set. There's called broad match, which is that first option. And that's where if someone wanted pink shoes or pink high heels, for example, a broad match might mean that your ad would show up for pink and black heels. So it's like a combination of what you said with a little bit extra. A phrase match means the search term that you type in, it'll be a very similar match. So maybe it'll be pink heels is your phrase match. So your ad might show up for magenta heels search because it's very similar, but it's not exact. Whereas exact match, again, you might get the idea. Exact match means your ad will only show up if people type in pink heels exactly, with no extra words, with no extra variations. So this is where someone like myself can guide you into what search terms will help you be seen to your right ideal client, and also what type of search terms do you enter. Just as a blanket rule, I always start with phrase match because it's close but with a little bit loose, but still not exact. So phrase match, if you're tinkering in Google Ads, is a good place to start. And then if you're not getting the search volumes, you can expand to broad match. But anyways, I'm getting too much into the detail. Let's have a look. These are the types of Google Ads that you can run. You can run a text ad, display ad, video ads, shopping ads, and apps in your apps. So this is what a text ad looks like. It's the most common, it's probably the easiest one to set up, and it's also the most common ad that people use Google Ads for. So this is where, see how it says ad right there? This is an ad when someone typed in organic food delivery. And it's when your ad will show up for that specific keyword. People click on it, go to your website, and then they hopefully take the action that you want. So if I didn't click on this, that business wouldn't be charged. If I click on it, they would. Types of Google, I've done that one. All right, these are video ads. So you may experience these in YouTube. So if you're watching a long-ish video, or at the start or at the end of a YouTube video, and you see those ads, we set those up in Google Ads Manager as well. Product shopping ads for our e-com businesses. You do need a Google Merchant Center account, so to link your website with these types of ads. And this is where you get these rectangle boxes with pictures of product in a sort of carousel sort of style, and they're ideal for e-commerce. In my experience, a mixture for e-commerce, my e-commerce friends, A mixture of shopping ads and text ads, having a budget for each of those is ideal for e-commerce. And then just test and measure which accounts work, which types of ads work best for you. All right, so Google Ads, in a nutshell, is ideal for brands, products, and services where people are actively searching for a specific problem that your business solves. So if you're a builder and someone's looking to start a home renovation, Google Ads would be great for you. If you've got a sore neck and you're looking for a physiotherapist, you go to Google. You're not necessarily going to go to Facebook and Instagram for this instant problem. And it's also ideal if you're more business to business and your ideal client are sitting at work and they're Googling to solve. So accountant, lawyer, or a marketing agency, they can also be it's a good platform for these types of businesses. There are some industries that are more competitive than others. So accounting, lawyers, roofing, renovation, these are quite, or especially solar. These are industries where the competitiveness of people trying to get in front of the same keyword searches as you is quite high. So you can expect to pay some quite high prices for these industries. The other day I was looking at a solar company, and for, install solar Brisbane, the minimum price was about $15 for one click. So that's before they even consider to be your client. That's just getting them to look at your website. But for everybody else, apart from these high competitive industries, you're looking at approximately $3 to maybe $5 or $7 across the board on average to spend on a click with Google Ads. Okay. Did anyone know that Facebook turns 20 today? It's Facebook's 20th birthday. And I was just thinking, what was I doing at 20 years ago? And I was like, oh my goodness, it's been around for a really long time now, which is just insane. But boy, has it changed a lot in the 20 years. Holy moly. I used to love Facebook ads, but just the last few, and I still do, please don't get me wrong, but the platform changes a lot, and you just really need to keep up with the changes. And it's not impossible, but you just need to have that patience and just keep at it. So let me get started into Facebook ads. They're actually now called Meta ads, but everyone still calls them Facebook ads. And what we can do with Facebook ads is we can show our ads on Facebook, we can show our ads on Instagram, Messenger, and Audience Network. So Audience Network is its suite of apps where ads pop up, and also other websites, just like the Google partner websites where Facebook or Meta are connected. It operates on a pay per impression model. And what that means, you get charged for how many times your ads are seen. So Google, you can be seen 100 times and get no clicks and be charged nothing. With Facebook ads, with Meta ads, your ad will be seen 100 times and you'll still be charged, whether they've done anything with your ad or not, because it's all about getting your ad underneath the noses of the people. Now, you may be thinking, Facebook, it's so dead right now. It's so dead. And in some instances, I think that's true. I feel like we use Facebook differently now than we did maybe a few years ago, but it's still the most popular social media network in the world. And according to Hootsuite, which is a third-party social media, quite a large social media platform, content sharing platform, and according to them, more than 2 billion people still use Facebook every single day. So when you're deciding to use Facebook, have a think again. I'm going back to your ideal client. Who are they and where do they hang out so that your business can hang out there too? It's no surprise, millennials, people between the ages 25 and 44, they make up almost half of its audience and are still quite active. If your ideal clients are younger, Instagram, TikTok. If you're a B2B, maybe LinkedIn might be worth considering. So it's all about fully understanding who your ideal clients are. Now, when it comes to audience targeting with Meta ads, it's a lot more powerful than with a lot more options than what you get with Google ads. But there's a disclaimer, it's changing as always. So what we can do at the moment is that we can target people by their demographics. Okay, we can target by age, their sex, their location. We can target people by their interests. So if people are interested in Taylor Swift or other influencers or certain movies, the number of options in the interest section for Facebook and Instagram ads is starting to reduce quite significantly. Every few months, there's another interest that's not available here or there. And this is because of the global online privacy rules that they're really cracking down on how much tracking tools like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok are collecting. So it's great for the end user because they're not getting tracked. But for advertisers like you and me, it's just getting a little bit more tricky. But thanks to AI, I'm predicting that the interest that we enter into Facebook and Instagram are going to be more of a suggestion to Facebook. And Facebook's really going to look at our ad copy and our images to really use its algorithm and its artificial intelligence software I'll never understand to target the right people for us. So even though we can, at the moment, we can target people, you know, behaviors is an interesting one. You can target people who have been overseas recently if you're a travel agent. You can target people who are online shoppers, who are engaged online shoppers for our e-commerce people. But I do predict that we are going to say goodbye to this old way of targeting and say hello to concentrating more on our images, our videos, and really trying to call out to our ideal clients through what our ad looks and says. Oh, and you know, at the moment, you can even upload your database of emails, providing you've got your privacy, you know, laws set up and understand them. And you could retarget your database, or you could ask Facebook to find what's called a lookalike audience, and that is people with similar attributes to your database. So find me more people like this, Facebook, essentially. So there's lots of different opportunities in Facebook ads targeting. Excuse me. Now, types of meta ads, Facebook and Instagram, you've got various ad formats that can be really engaging. So you've got image ads, video ads, carousel, slideshow, lead generation forms, and each different type of ad offers a different marketing objective and engages users in unique ways. So unlike Google, Meta ads allows businesses to drive different types of engagement. So yes, we can get people to visit our website, but we can also get them to watch a video. We can also get them to like our Facebook page. We could also get them to look at our event and consider attending. We can also get them to message us directly into our business Facebook page and engage with customers that way. So it allows advertisers a lot more flexibility when it comes to goals and objectives. So Google's prime objective, get people to your website. Meta ads, yes, we can do that, but we can also build our email list. We can also build the know, like, trust factor. We can also, you know, do some brand awareness, things like that. which we can't do with Google Ads. So that's a big significant difference. All right, so an image ad looks very similar to this. It's probably the easiest type of ad to set up, and it still gets really good engagement, but what you need is really good eye-catching images. And don't be afraid, don't think that you need to have professional photography all the time. Don't be afraid to have an ugly ad, because it's going to stop the thumb, because it's going to look so different. If it's always so shiny and polished, it might just scream out ads. So my friends, if I can give you one tip, don't be afraid to have an ugly ad. Video ads, so Facebook and Instagram want to be the new TikTok and YouTube, so they're always favoring video ads, making it cheaper to show people videos, and you'll reach more people at a cheaper price using videos. And of course, they're very good because they add movement and they're a bit more eye-catching in the feed. What I recommend is having an image ad, a video ad, and maybe a carousel ad. So what a carousel ad, it's a bit like a carousel that you might see on Instagram, and it's 10 images, up to 10 images that you can scroll through, and each of them can have different headlines and different buttons to send to different pages. So I'd recommend testing out different ad formats when you're running ad campaigns. Is a really good tip. And so what I'd recommend Facebook and Instagram ads would be ideal for is if you're a B2C business, or if your ideal client isn't particularly searching for your product or service, but is likely interested in it. So for example, if you're a real estate agent and you have a property for sale, people might be interested in real estate and be in the buying, mode, but they might not be specifically Googling for your property. So using Google Ads to promote specific listings, is a good strategy. Or perhaps I'm just having a look, affiliate marketing. Perhaps there's a new software or a product that people need some awareness and education around first before they decide to buy. Hey, Bubba, can you go, Bubba? Mummy's still talking. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's prime time. That was Ollie. So what was I saying? So if there's a product or service that people aren't necessarily Googling for, but they need some time they need some time to be aware of it, to discover a product or service, it can be a really good tool for people to discover something. So for example, I got suckered into ads that were for, it was called Aussie Mozzie. Has anyone seen an Aussie Mozzie ad before? Anyways, it's these little mosquito coil devices that kill mosquitoes and bugs, and they're portable, and it's essentially a little light. So that's nothing I'm going to be running into, racing in and getting Googling mosquito solutions or anything like that. But this ad came into my news feed. It was a video showing all these mosquitoes. Then they put this product in the middle, and all the mosquitoes were gone, and I was suckered. And I run Facebook ads for a living, and it suckered me in. I clicked, I was in bed. Before I knew it, I had bought 3 of them, and it wasn't even 7 o'clock in the morning. So that was a way of me discovering a product that I'd never consider. I probably wouldn't even consider Googling it, to be honest, because I would just use a mosquito coil or something common like that. So that's where it's really good for discovery. And for those coaches in the room, using it to build that know, like, trust factor, brand awareness, connect with your local business community, much like Nick's community, using Facebook ads like that is really good. And it's also very good for growing your email list. So if you have a freebie offer or a low cost offer, and I'm sure Nick has gone through this in the past, talking about the customer journey and the marketing funnel, use Facebook and Instagram to give someone a freebie. They go to the landing page, they give you their email address, and then you market them off social media through emails, and then maybe a webinar, and then hopefully they purchase like that. using Facebook and Instagram ads for that top of funnel step of your marketing could be very beneficial for you as well. All right, so here are the key differences. I'm going to break it down for Facebook and Google. Is everyone still with me? All right. Give me a thumbs up. Everyone's with me. Okay. Now, buyer intention. Google ads often have a higher intent because people are in the moment. They're actively searching to solve their problem. So this leads us to better quality leads and inquiries. Facebook ads and Instagram ads, we're interrupting what a person is doing. So for example, we don't go to Facebook and Instagram to look at ads, unless you're a nerd like me. Everybody else goes to Facebook and Instagram to see what their friends and family are up to. And then these ads interrupt what we're doing. And when people convert off Facebook and Instagram ads, the conversion rate may be lower because the intent wasn't originally there. The urgency wasn't originally there. So that is something to consider when deciding between the two. So my recommendation would be if the conversion rate is lower, think about what else happens once you've got this contact off Facebook. What happens next? What's next in the marketing journey? How can you nurture them? How can you get them to know, like, trust you, and then buy from you eventually? So there may be a few more steps with someone who's come off Facebook than someone who's come off directly Google ads. Like the wait time to purchase your services might be shorter. Now, the cost per click on Google is more expensive because Google knows it's got the higher intent. It's also, there's a lot of advertisers, and so specific keywords can get really expensive. So as I said before, industry average is around $3, but there are other industries that are much higher. There's other industries that are a lot less. It all depends on your search terms. And if you win the audit, I can walk you through and we can do some keyword research for you. Now, Meta ads offer a low cost per click. It's lower because there's less competition and the buyer intent is lower. So when you're running what's called a traffic campaign, which gets people from your Facebook ad to your website, expect to pay between $1 and $3 per click. And it doesn't necessarily mean what industry. It all depends on how competitive the interests that you're targeting. So for example, if you're running an e-com business and you want to target engaged shoppers, you can imagine people with that interest is going to be highly competitive because you're going to have all the other e-coms. So you do need to play around with your budget. On average, to spend on Facebook ads, Facebook and Google ads, I had a Facebook rep tell me that if you're an e-com business, they want us to spend $250 a day on e-com ads. Now, I'm not saying you have to spend that. This is what the Facebook rep told me. Then they said if you want to run engagement type ads, they want us to spend $95 a day. Now, I've never had a client that has spent that much just on engagement ads. So the good thing about both of these platforms is that we can set the budget. We're in control. So obviously, more money, more people see it. Less money, less people see it. So don't be afraid to maybe start with $20 a day. Much lower than that, I think your ads are going to run too slowly and you won't get enough information and data fast enough to be able to see whether your ads are working or not. All right, audience targeting. So Google does have quite good targeting options, especially if we can get your search terms right, but it's not as granular as Meta ads. Excuse me. And visual engagement. Google only really has the videos on YouTube to help you with visual engagement, whereas Meta ads offers you lots more flexibility because you can really do whatever you want. You can be really creative with your ads and you've got lots of different ad formats to try and test out. The downside of that is that if your audience sees the same ad for too long, what you start to get is what's called ad fatigue, which means your ads are been seen by the same people too many times, and then we just stop seeing it. And so we do need to keep an eye on ad fatigue when we're running ads on Meta, and that occasionally when the results start to drop, it might be an indication that we need to swap out our ads creative and get it to look a little bit more different. Okay, so I'm just going to run through quickly some case studies. So here is a spa repair client that I had. Now we started running Facebook ads, and I was like, yeah, we're going to run messenger ads. People are going to talk to me in the Facebook page about their broken spas. He's going to do really well. Well, guess what? It bombed, and I'm not afraid to say that I tried it out and it didn't work. My prediction was wrong, and it's because spa repairs is too niche of a service for the general population. Not everyone has a spa, and not everyone has a broken spa. When we moved to Facebook ads, set it up correctly, problem, solution, this client was there. So now on a relatively small budget, I think he spends about $20 a day. He gets between 10 and 20 phone calls or online inquiries per month, and his conversions are quite high because he's got a problem that he can solve. So Google is the best platform for this particular client. Now, this client has a community event. It is a sewing market that is a big market in Mount Gravatt, I think. And they're recycling cloths and materials and sewing equipment, things like that. Now, we chose Facebook and Instagram because this is an event that people need to discover. They're not going to Google it. And so we're looking at people who are interested in arts and crafts, people who are interested in upcycling, things like that. And so we spent about $1,000 over a couple of weeks promoting this event. It reached just under 150,000 people, got a lot of engagement. So you can see, got a lot of comments and shares. And boots on the ground, the event received about 5,000 people, thanks to using a mixture of videos, single image ad, carousel ads, and meta ads were ideal because people needed to discover this. Google ads, it would have flopped because who's going to search for it? And finally, I have an allied health client that uses both platforms, but they use both platforms very, very differently. So we use Google ads. It's a physio, and OT and speech pathology kind of therapies. Maybe if you've gotten hurt at work, we use Google to go, my neck hurts, I better look for a physio. We use Google for that. But they also offer NDIS therapy programs. And so we use meta ads to help build the authority. We share success stories around their NDIS. And we're also telling the general population that they do run NDIS programs on top of their private services. So we do use both platforms in very different ways. This client spends a few $1,000s every month, and each platform can deliver 30 or 50 inquiries per platform every single month. But it's important to remember that each platform serves a different objective, and it's really important that you're clear with what you want people to do with your ads depending on each platform. So here we are. Are we going for time? Okay. How do you decide which one is best for you? And I think you're going to get the gist of what I'm going to say. It starts by simply knowing who your ideal client is and how they discover your business. Now, if you have no idea where to start in identifying your ideal client, I do have a free questionnaire, which is going to prompt you to have a think about your customers, where they live, what they're interested in, what platform they they work on and how they find you. If you need some support, go to that link there. They'll share it. Nick and the team will share it in the chat. Absolutely yours for free. But the easiest way to find out who your ideal client is and how they discover your business is to ask this one question. How did you hear about us? It's that simple, except there's one more step after you ask that. It's write it down. Don't forget to write it down and start a record, because once you start to understand how people discover your business, where they found you, you can start moving your marketing efforts into that direction. Do more of what works. Don't go, oh, what is it? One Take AI thinks I need to start running videos. If you know through this data that you've collected that people are discovering you through your blog articles, don't do videos, because you know that blogs work. Do you understand? So just get into the habit of always asking people, how did you hear about us, and recording it. I'm going to leave you with a couple of tips for success. With either Facebook ads or Google ads, it's kind of a bit of both. It's important to invest in your website. You can have the best ads running, but if your website isn't mobile friendly, if it's not fast, if it doesn't talk to the pain points of your ideal clients, your ads are gonna bomb. It's important on your website to make it easy for people to contact you. Don't make them click around. Don't make them look for a contact form. Don't make them look for a phone number or an email. Have it there. Reduce the friction and the time it takes to get people to do what you want on your website, and that is to contact you. And remember to follow up inquiries quickly, because people's memories these days are like goldfish, especially if the inquiry came from social media. You need to get on it ASAP. So have a process in the background before you run ads to make sure that there's a process in place that you follow these up in a timely manner. Now, I don't want to get too technical, but tracking is really important. So making sure you've got Google Analytics 4 set up correctly on the back of your website, making sure that you're tracking the effectiveness of your Google ads using the Google tag and Google tracking, and making sure that you've got Facebook's Meta Pixel and its API set up on your website, because like I touched on before about privacy, and being able to track people, no longer can we just look at your Facebook pixel and think that those results are tried and true anymore. We actually have to look in a few different places like your Google Analytics and your Facebook to essentially try to formulate the true picture, because one analytical platform these days isn't going to cut it. And it's unfortunate, but it's the way the world is. So I can't stress enough to have if you have nothing at all, my friends, at the end of this, just have Google Analytics on there, and so that you can track at least your website visitors and the source that they're coming from at a minimum. And like I said before, record all your inquiries, find out how they learnt about you, and then actually look at it so that you can do more of what works. And finally, my last few tips: be prepared to waste some money. It takes time for your ads to optimize, to settle into the algorithm, to actually give you enough information so you can make educated guesses on what to do next. If you're constantly going into Facebook, editing your ads every 2-4 days, the data that's coming through is not true. Well, it is true, but you keep breaking the flow of the algorithm and the wave of Facebook ads and Google ads. So set your ads up, let them run for a week or 10 days before you do anything. Just let them run. Waste that money. It's not wasted, but you do need to have patience, because once you get the information in, you'll know what to do next. And like I said, just avoid wasting your ads. All right, we're at the end of my presentation now. It's and there's just some key takeaways that I'd like you all to leave today. My hope is that you've got a clear distinction now between the differences of Google Ads and Meta Ads, including their strengths and weaknesses. Tailor your choice of platform to fit your business needs and objectives. So whether it's driving immediate conversions and getting that leads and inquiries now, or building brand awareness, choose the right platform. Choosing the right platform can really set you up for success. And remember, one size doesn't fit all. So choose wisely, and make decisions off data. So if you're tracking your incoming inquiries, find out where that client hangs out so that you can do more of what works and advertise that way. All right, this is how you guys can connect with me. Here's my website, jrdigital.com.au. If you want to just have a chat about your marketing strategy, I have some marketing assessments available. You can find me on LinkedIn. I go to BX networking all the time. Yeah, that's me. So now I'm just opening it up to questions. I hope you all found that useful. No question is a dumb question. Fire away, everybody.
All right, this is your opportunity to ask us who here has actually run some ads in the past and it's worked, or others that hasn't really worked. Yep. Okay. So yep. Good. Great. So half
Yeah,
and half. Perfect.
done
Yep.
done a bit of both. Some of them have worked, some of them haven't, and I think some of the points that were touched on today will definitely help them work better in the future.
Thank you, Justin. Great. I'm glad.
I do have a question, Jess, and that is with AI. So with all of the, I suppose, AI tools that are available, you've got Facebook and Google both investing heavily in AI and their platforms. How do you see that, playing out in terms of how it's going to make it easier or harder, or what's going to happen with the experience of us if we're running ads?
Okay, well, from a setting up ads point of view, I'm just going to lean into the fact that Google and Facebook know more about our customers than we will ever know. So when it comes to targeting and all the AI business of just letting Facebook do its thing, I think it's unavoidable. We're just going to have to lean in and accept the AI targeting. However, I do use ChatGPT to help me write my ads and at least get me started on what I want to say. So I would tell ChatGPT, for example, here's my ideal client, and ask me more questions that you need to know. Then I'll answer those questions. And then I'll say, I'd like to write a Facebook ad here. I'll either write the ad myself in dot points or drafty kind of points. And then I go improve on this ad. And if it's for Facebook and Instagram, I'd say add emojis. And then it gives me a couple of variations. So that has really sped up the process for me, is because sometimes it even comes up with, better language and better words than I would necessarily do organically, or it gives me better ideas. So in a way, I think it's only going to help marketers and business owners. But that being said, we can't rely on it. It still needs that human element for curating, and making sure that, the AI actually uses your tone of voice. So if we're pretty slack with it, it's going to sound like we're going to be able to tell the difference whether it was an AI copy or a real person. So we still need to put a little bit of our personality in it, but it's a great time saver to at least get you started with what you want to say and writing it in a fluid way.
Awesome. Excellent. All right. We've got a question in chat here too. We sell products. Is Google better for CPC or cost per conversion? So cost per click or cost per conversion. So confusing now that there are these target costs for acquisition and target conversion value, etc. Any advice around all that?
Okay, it's hard to tell without looking, but have you tried Performance Max for shopping ads? I wouldn't recommend it for service-based businesses at this stage, but Performance Max would be worth testing. Cost per acquisition is something I would be setting after running Google ads for quite some time. Like cost per acquisition, for everybody to understand, means how much does it cost to receive that lead, or how much does it cost in ecom to get the purchase? How much ad spend did you have to spend to get that purchase? And that's how you work out your ROI, your return on investment. And so in the early days of running an ad campaign, I wouldn't be setting a cost per acquisition level until I actually have some data and know what is a realistic level to set. So yeah, I would be using cost per click just in the early days. So it is a hard question to answer in a generic form, but if it was an ecom business, I would start with cost per click first, or a Performance Max. And then once more data came in, I would get a bit more granular with the cost per acquisition.
Awesome. Excellent. Con, you've got a question.
Yes, I understand tonight's more focused on Facebook and also Google, but I've been in the LinkedIn space. Do you have much case studies in LinkedIn ads? I notice when I do go to LinkedIn that I see maybe one ad every about 5 or 6 posts. When I go on Facebook, I see an ad every second post. Is that because it's cheaper, or is it more effective on Facebook than LinkedIn? And is LinkedIn one of those platforms? It's a bit more expensive, I hear.
I use LinkedIn, and I'll just be transparent with everyone. I use LinkedIn for just one client, two clients at the moment. That's kind of the same client. And I use it because the type of clients they need are so niche. They need civil engineers. So it's so niche. I can't find that on Facebook. Search volume for their products are so that's why I use LinkedIn for. And so I'm using LinkedIn for engagement and discovery. I wouldn't say I love LinkedIn, if I have to be completely honest with you. It is a little bit more expensive cost per impression wise than Facebook, but it's only by a few dollars from what I've been seeing. And I've been using it for more of a discovery objective. So my experience thus far has been more brand awareness and discovery type objectives, and it's done okay. It's more helped them connect and grow their page at the moment, more than hard leads and sales.
Which is what I thought so. Thanks, Jessica.
All right, another question here in chat, and that is, what's the duration of ad fatigue, and how often should you change your ads?
Good question. That depends on the size of your audience. If you have a really small audience, you will fatigue a lot faster than if you're showing your ads Australia-wide, for example. There's 2 ways you can look at the frequency. So in Ads Manager, there's a drop down that says delivery. And in those columns, there's frequency. So once you start seeing frequency getting up to 5, 6, 7, 8 times, that means one person has seen the same ad 5, 6, 7, or 8 times. That's when it's time to consider changing your ads. So there's no real set time frame. It just depends on a few factors. Sometimes Facebook will tell you inside Ads Manager if your ad is fatiguing. So there'll be an orange warning next to on the ad level of Facebook ads, and it'll say creative fatiguing. And that's also a very good indication that you need to change it up.
Right. Any other questions or comments, or anything that hasn't been covered that you'd like to know? Awesome. Excellent. All right. Well, that is probably close
Nick,
to
there's
wrap up.
one
Is there
more,
one more?
John. I can see John waving his hand.
Oh, is
Thanks.
it? John,
Thanks.
how are you? Yep.
Yeah, Jessica, what I've found in my experience with Facebook anyway, is to sell in the season. For instance, I've sold quite a few heaters in winter.
Mm.
And also topical items as well. But I must admit that my ads for security systems, because that's very topical right now, they did not do well. So maybe I'm targeting the wrong person for that particular product.
I have run ads on Facebook for a security company before, and I found that we were struggling more with people who wanted, cheaper Bunnings security cameras. And so security cameras might be better, John, for Google Ads, someone who wants to go a bit beyond that cheaper security type of security.
Right.
That being said, there is seasons in Facebook. So for example, October to December is the most expensive time to run ads because we've got Black Friday, we've got Christmas. So we've got everybody trying to push their products for Christmas on Facebook and Instagram. So I actually had a client that just came on, a storage company, in November, and we started running ads. I actually told them I want to turn them off, because they were just tanking, and they appreciated my feedback. I was looking at the numbers and I'm like, no, this isn't working. It's too expensive. So you can imagine October to December more expensive. As soon as Boxing Day hits, it starts to calm down. And then around that June, there is a little peak as well. So yeah, if you have products or services that people buy because of a certain type of year and a certain season, like you were saying, John, heaters and things like that, that's definitely an excellent point to consider when you're formulating your marketing strategy.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, on that note, thanks, John, for that final question there. That is getting close to our session tonight. But before we go, we've got a door prize for tonight, which kindly provided by Jessica. So, Jess, tell us about the door prize.
Yeah, sure. So I'm offering a Facebook or Google Ads audit, which means if you've run ads in the past, we'll get together on a call. I'll have a look at your ad account. I'll have a look at the numbers. I'll decipher them into more, I'll describe what has happened to your ads. And then I can give some tips and strategies on what to do to move forward after that. If you haven't run ads before and you win this prize, guess what? We're just going to talk about your marketing strategy, and we'll do a little research into which platform might be best to suit you.
Fabulous. Excellent. All right. Well, we've got our special way of drawing that. So let's get up our wheel of names. And of course, when we spin this, you've got to be in the room to win. So now's not the time to disappear. And if we do draw it and someone wins it who's not here, we'll just redraw it again. So let's spin the wheel. Virtual drum roll, please. And everybody's name is in here. So everyone's got an equal chance there to win. And the winner is Mrs. Red. There we go. Is you still in the room, Jane?
I certainly am. And you know what? I have joined your sessions for, I don't know, since they started because of COVID. And every time I look at the screen, and today I went, nope, I'm not looking. I'm just going to keep my face down and keep looking at what I'm painting. And it finally worked.
There you go. Fabulous. And Con says the legend finally won. What was your artwork today, Jane?
I can hold it up. It is a love bug.
Oh, look at that. Fabulous.
So,
for those that don't know sort of what Jane does, she is, she's got these paint and sip evenings and does all sorts of arty.
Oh, I can't wait to have a chat to you.
I know.
Fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she does
I want
advertise
that,
it out.
guys.
You
I'm
do
so
put
happy
it out
about
on
that.
Facebook, don't you, Jane? So people can find you on Facebook and
Yep.
sort of search out what you're doing. Fabulous.
That's
Excellent. Well,
awesome.
congratulations on being a persistent person here and finally winning.
Well deserved. Thanks,
Excellent.
everybody.
And let's put our hands together for a huge round of applause and thanks for Jess for sharing all her wisdom tonight. So thanks very much for coming along. And I know you've got a family there who probably be sort of itching to see you.
They've been so good. Yeah, oh, I'm surprised I only got one interruption, to be honest.
That's fabulous. If you've enjoyed this presentation and want to watch it again, or you've got someone else you'd think that would benefit from this as well, it will be up on the SmashGo YouTube channel tomorrow afternoon. We'll drop the link into chat so that you can go there, subscribe, hit the bell when you subscribe, and then you'll get a notification as soon as it's uploaded. And just remember the apps and tools and things, they will be on Facebook. They'll be up on LinkedIn, Instagram. So we do post those around the place as well. If you're not a member of Business Owners Smashing It Online Facebook group, go and join there now, and you'll find all sorts of info there as well too. Now is a good time to save that chat as well. For all of those apps and tools and links that are in there. We've dropped Jess's links in there as well. So if you just look for the 3 little dots in the chat, which is either down the bottom or the top right-hand side, click that, you can save the chat, and then you've got all of those links to be able to click through. But apart from that, thanks, Jess, for sharing your wisdom tonight. Thanks, everyone, for coming along tonight, and we'll be on here again, same time, next week, different topic. Look forward to seeing you then. Thanks very much.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Talk to you soon, Jess.